You are listening to The Score with Joseph Huerta. I'm Chase Efurd on this July 6th edition of the broadcast. Today we've got more predictions for you. We've got the Pac-12 and we've got the Big Ten. We've got some newsworthy items, and we're going to rank some of the top players in the NFL in the running back and wide receiver categories. With us today, special guest who joined us on the last couple of episodes, Tanner Pavela. Tanner, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome.
All right. Joseph is in Texas. Joseph, how's the weather down there in Texas?
It's very hot. They are in like a 2 month long drought right now, and so like during the 4th of July they had a burn ban in effect, so you cannot shoot fireworks down here.
Wow.
So it's been interesting. I've never had this happen before.
Well, yeah, for those who don't know, we're recording the show over Skype. Joseph has gone down there for how many weeks are you down there? 6 weeks?
5 or 6.
5 or 6 weeks. So most of our shows lately have been on Skype, but this one's kind of a long distance episode,
There
if
you
you want to
go.
call it that. Yeah. Yeah, we've got not really anything big to talk about because when there's two lockouts and two major sports going on, you really don't have much to talk about. And so we took the most newsworthy things, we're going to put them in the middle of the show, but we're going to continue our college football prediction series, like I said earlier. Last episode, we talked about the SEC and the Big 12. We had a lot of good arguments and we had a lot of good comparisons there. And today, we're going to start things off with the Pac-12. Joseph he's looked into the Pac-12 a little more extensively than we have. Joseph, let's hear your beginning predictions on the Pac-12.
Well, the Pac-12, everybody knows that they had some crazy expansions for the past year. They added two teams to the conference, Colorado and Utah. Um, Before that, there was talk that Pac-12 was looking to make a 16-team super conference, but they had to end up settling with 12. Um, but let's start off with the South Division of the Pac-12. Let's start out at the top with Arizona. They're coming back with 13 returning starters, 6 on offense and 6 on defense. The biggest thing for me for Arizona this year is Nick Foles. He's been there. He's been the entire team the past 2 years, and so he's gonna have to continue developing a quarterback, be just getting better. And depending on how good he does, will basically uh, affect the outcome of the season. Another thing, if Nick Foles goes down, they have a guy who's also a redshirt senior, and Matt Scott, who can step up and play good enough for them to still win. But what do you guys think of Arizona?
Tanner, what do you think about Arizona? Let's hear your opinion.
I mean, I haven't really looked that much into Arizona, but how many returning starters did you say they have? 13.
Yeah, say that again.
How many returning starters did you say they have?
They have
13.
13, 6 on offense, 6 on defense, and 1 on special teams.
Hmm.
Well, the one down thing I do see, they ended the season last year with a 5-game losing streak.
They did.
They were 7-1 at one point, and they ended 5-game losing streak. So that's pretty bad.
Yeah, they ended. Yeah, they were 1-3 versus teams in the top 25 last year.
That is very not very good.
Not good at all.
So I'm gonna throw that one up in the air, and
But the thing is, they ended last year with ninth overall in the nation passing. So let's see. Did you say their quarterback's coming
Yeah,
back?
Nick Foles.
Nick Foles is coming back.
Both
Yeah.
the quarterbacks have been playing the past year are coming back. They're both seniors, and they're both capable of taking this team to a good amount of victories.
they won't be bad at all.
No,
Yeah.
they won't be bad. I honestly believe that they will win the Pac-12 South this year. I think I think that with their experience at quarterback, and they are returning all 5 starters on their offensive line, which is huge in college football. I think they'll have 8 to 9 wins, and will win the South in the Pac-12.
I'll probably have to agree with that
Yeah,
because
pretty accurate.
yeah, Arizona, and everybody's been expecting Arizona to kind of have a breakout year for a while now, considering how they started last year.
Yeah, I mean, you start out 7 and
Honestly.
1, and then you end up 7 and 6. That's not good at all. But
No.
they do have the talent to be a very very good team. But we'll just have to see what they can do this next year.
Yep. Sounds good.
Next one. Let's move on to Arizona State. They're returning 19 starters, 10 on offense and one on defense.
Wow.
Um, Last year they went 6-6, but still missed a bowl because of one of their wins was against a an FCS school. So uh, a lot of people believe they shouldn't have made a bowl because they only won 5 games against what they call legitimate competition. I understand that argument completely, but Arizona State should be a lot better this year than they were last year because last year they had a little bit of mix up at quarterback when they had that transfer from Michigan, Stephen Threet, start the season. Then he ended up getting concussions and leaving football completely. And then you have that behemoth of a quarterback, Brock Osweiler, 6'8" guy, 250 pounds, come in and play quarterback for you. That was a sight to see if anybody got the chance to watch them last year. Um, but I do see a lot of problems with Brock Osweiler. I did the few games I watched him play. Everything he did just looked wrong. He would just throw off his back foot. He looked like he would like tap dance before he threw. It looked everything he did was ugly. So he needs a lot of work if they're going to be successful this year. Another thing they do have for them is they have another deep offensive line, just like Arizona. They bring back almost every piece of their two deep offensive line from last year. And then on defense, they have one of the, I think, at least a top 3 linebacker in the whole country in Vontaze Burfict. This guy is a monster. I don't think there's been an athlete at linebackers for a long time with his athletic ability. This guy, nobody is a better tackler in the country. Nobody's as fast at linebacker as this guy is. So I look for Arizona State to have 8-9 wins.
Arizona State having 8-9 wins. That would be that's a good that would be a good season for them, I think, considering how they come off of just an average season and a season where people didn't think they should deserve to do anything postseason wise.
Yeah.
Um, and if you look at their schedule this year, there are some pretty tough games. I mean, the ones that stand out to me, you got like Oregon State, and
Yeah, but if you look at
normal
their
Pac-12 games. But then there's a lot of winnable games on that schedule. I think uh, that would you say 8 games. You think?
eight games is probably where they'd be at because they do have a pretty tough non-conference schedule. Outside of UC Davis, which they open the season at, they have
Mhm.
they have
Missouri.
they host Missouri, then go to Illinois.
Yeah,
So it doesn't look like they have a break for the rest of the season after UC Davis.
that's true. I would agree with that. Tanner, what do you think?
I would also have to agree.
Yeah, and another thing is Dennis Erickson. I don't know why the heck he got the job at Arizona State in the first place because he came off a very unsuccessful trip to the NFL, and they some reason just rewarded him the job for failing. I think if Arizona State wins 7 games or under, Dennis Erickson is gone
Hmm.
because of his unsuccess for the past few seasons. So
Yeah, and people, if you learned lately that college football programs, any football program, they're getting very impatient.
yeah, because people fans in general are just very impatient. They expect too much, and they expect it done uh, within a really quick instant. So it's a really tough job to be a college football coach now.
Yeah, because back in the day, whenever you had a coach that would start off, in the rebuilding phases, winning maybe 4 or 5 games
Yeah,
the first couple of years,
you would
people
expect. Yeah, go
people
ahead.
expected that, and they were able to bear with them. But like nowadays, when you see these teams that are constantly doing successful, and you have the other teams that really want their teams to be like that, fan bases get impatient when you start off like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a weird thing. That's just kind of how you see everything is more impatient. You want more fast pace, more high flying, more scoring, and kind of stuff like that. So everything now, just in the world around, is just everybody wants it faster and faster and faster.